Good morning, YouTube. I just wanted to take a moment to give an update on the events that took place last night. I did about one and a half minute video last night. This is Monday, April 12th, 2021, and Stanat's Kitchen. You know, I live over South Minneapolis, very near to where the riots took place, and actually like kind of in the epicenter, the middle of where the riots took place. And Mr. Floyd, where he died last year, was a few blocks away, and I had actually met him like a couple weeks before he died. Well, last night there was some shooting happening in the neighborhood, and it was just someone that was just picking anybody that was walking down the street and taking shots at them. And I know YouTube may not be very happy to hear me say that, but these are the things that need to be reported on the news. But typically when it happens in my neighborhood, you don't hear about it until a couple of weeks later. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was like St. Patrick's Day, there was a guy going around stabbing people. Just one person randomly going around stabbing people. It took 2 weeks before there was a press release from the police department, and before anything was shown on the news. And now they're looking for this guy that stabbed 3 people, and the people are no longer with us. And these are all older adults that this happened to. All South Minneapolis, between Ventura Village, Phillips neighborhood, and Powderhorn Park, my neighborhood. So these are areas that are fairly close together, but far enough apart that the person would have had to travel by car to get from the one location to the other as quickly as they're now saying that it happened. So last night, here I am at home, and sometimes you hear some shooting and it's like, okay, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm just not sticking my head out the window. And my neighbor said, wow, there's some guy right over there by the post office that's outside shooting at folks. She said, I'm out of here. Packed up her stuff, took off. She said, I am not coming back tonight. I mean, and granted, you know, these are condos where we live. But just because the building is a condo, it doesn't mean that it's going to be impenetrable or going to stop someone from trying to get in or whatever. And I can understand her concern. But she chose to bug out. I chose to bug in. I closed my curtains. I put my door proper up against the door, you know, to prevent anyone from getting in. A little added security over the locks that I have. And I moved away from the main front windows. My windows, I use room darkening curtains in my living room and blackout curtains in the bedroom, so that light doesn't really shine through. So from the outside, people can't tell very well that I'm in there. And of course I turned off the living room lights, but I moved further back away from the windows towards, you know, the center of my home. You know, and it's a brownstone building, so I just didn't want to have myself in a situation where bullets that have no eyes can find their way in and meet me. So, you know, if you go to the National Safety Center website, they recommend that in crisis situations such as these, that you run, hide, or fight. Run means, like, if you're in that situation and somebody's out there going pow, 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 shooting around you, get the heck out of there. Run. You know, if you are in immediate danger, run. Hide means find somewhere that you can hide, get up under something, barricade yourself in, whatever you got to do, and fight. If a person does break into that location, be prepared to fight for your own personal safety or the safety of your family. Run, hide, or fight. And this is not something I'm making up. This is from the National Safety Council, and I took their course on preparedness several years ago. You know, the government does put out information of things to help us, but they don't really widely advertise it. So most people just go along and live like nothing's happening. But if that information is put out there, it's put out there for a reason. Feel free to look it up on the web. You can look it up. It is there from the National Safety Council. Run, hide, or fight. So now I got to do my hair. You see it's looking kind of crazy. And I've got a lunch packed and I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm going to get my shoes and stuff on. And instead of riding my electric bike to work, which I would really like to do, I'm going to have to call an Uber and wait till the very last minute before I go out there to get in that Uber to get to work, because this is too close to the timing of the events happening. I mean, and when it happened, it's not like the city didn't know, because helicopters started flying overhead. Just like last year when I did my videos on what happened around the George Floyd stuff, when helicopters started going around checking out things, helicopters were flying overhead last night. Now, this morning I got up and I checked the news, and they were talking about some acts of violence that were happening in Brooklyn Center, which is a north suburb of Minneapolis. So that's north, north entering suburb of Minneapolis. And here I am. I am right in South Minneapolis, in the epicenter. And the trial has been going on for a few weeks, and it's expected that the trial would be completed this week. And things have been heating up, and it's important for people to be prepared and to be careful. Carry something that makes noise. A whistle, if you need to. If you see anything, or if you're concerned, or one of those little noisemakers that pull the pin out. I'll do a video on that kind of thing in the future, so that you can be prepared. Wear shoes that you can get around with. Women, don't be walking around in them crazy high heels that are going to break your ankle if you have to get into a run, hide, or fight situation. Because of the way the times are right now, we have to be wise in what we do and how we dress and what we carry. That's all I'm going to say on that. Now, I got to get going so I can get my hair done and I can get out of here and get to work. But remember, run, hide, fight. Keep your eyes open. Look around you. Do you see anyone that looks out of place in your neighborhood that you don't know? I mean, hopefully you know your neighbors. Even if you're not hanging out with them having tea every day, hopefully you know and recognize your neighbors. Do you see anyone that looks out of place or not dressed the way your neighbors are dressed? Or are they walking around? Or are they taking pictures? Or, sitting in a car with a license plate missing off the front of the car? You see something, you better say something. Say something to somebody and protect yourself. Run, hide, fight. I think that's going to be it for now. I've got my coffee made. I will catch up with you later doing this video on my phone, and I'll be glad when my editing software and my computer is back up to snuff so that I can do things in a proper way. But take care of yourself, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.